the boy who conquered the cricket world. In the crowded, noisy streets of Mumbai, a small boy named Sachin lived a very simple life. While other children spent their time playing with expensive toys, Sachin had a different obsession. His only true love was his cricket bat, which he treated like his most prized possession. Sachin didn't just play the game for fun, he lived and breathed every single moment of it. He was so devoted that he would carry his bat everywhere, even during family meal times. His father watched this intense passion and realized his son had a rare gift. Deciding to support his son's dream, the father took Sachin to meet a legendary coach. This was Ramakant Achrekar, a man known for his strictness and his demand for absolute perfection. Coach Achrekar wore a traditional white kurta and had eyes that could see through any excuse. On his first day, little Sachin felt small and nervous standing before the authoritative coach. But the moment Sachin hit his first ball, the atmosphere changed instantly. Coach Achrekar saw a spark in the boy's eyes, a hunger for the game that was unusual for a child. However, the coach knew that talent alone wasn't enough. He wanted to test Sachin's mental focus. He introduced a strange and challenging training method to push the young boy. He told the bowlers that if they could knock the stumps down without moving the coin, they won. But if Sachin remained not out until the end of the session, he got to keep the coin. Sachin didn't care about the money, he was completely captivated by the challenge. He began to visualize the path of the ball, calculating the angle in his mind. His reactions became like lightning, moving his bat with incredible speed and precision. Over time, Sachin won so many coins that he started a small, proud collection. To him, each coin wasn't just money, it was a trophy representing his hard work. As the years passed, Sachin grew taller, but his disciplined routine never wavered. He would wake up while the rest of the world was still fast asleep. In the dim light of the early morning, he practiced his shots over and over again. He often faced fast bowlers who were twice his size and far more experienced. There were days when the ball hit his arms, leaving him bruised and sore. He fell down many times, exhausted and beaten by the intensity of the training. But every single time he fell, he forced himself to get up even faster. He learned a vital lesson, that natural talent is nothing without sweat and sacrifice. Then came the moment every young cricketer in the country dreams of. The call arrived. Sachin had been selected to play for the Indian national team. He was only 16 years old, a teenager stepping into a world of giants. He walked onto the field to the sound of thousands of people screaming his name. He was now facing the fastest and most aggressive bowlers in the entire world. The first few matches were a trial by fire, testing every bit of his courage. Then came a moment that would define his spirit forever in a high-stakes game. A thunderous delivery flew toward him, striking him brutally right in the face. The impact was violent, leaving him stunned and bleeding on the pitch. The stadium went deathly silent as the medical team rushed toward him. Everyone expected the young boy to give up and walk off the field. But Sachin looked up, wiped the blood from his lip with a determined glare. He spoke 3 words that echoed through the stadium: "I will play." That single moment of defiance proved he possessed a heart made of steel. From that day on, he wasn't just a player, he became a symbol of resilience. Over the next 2 decades, he grew into the hope of a billion people. Whenever he stepped onto the field, the entire nation came to a standstill. Shops closed their shutters and roads became empty just to watch him play. People who were fighting forgot their anger the moment he hit a boundary. His journey took him to the freezing winds of England's green fields, and to the scorching, oppressive heat of the Australian summer. He faced crushing defeats and injuries that threatened to end his career. The weight of 1 billion expectations rested heavily on his young shoulders. There were days when his body screamed for him to finally stop. But in those dark moments, his mind pushed him to keep moving forward. He remembered the simple 1 rupee coins he won as a small child. He could still hear the strict, demanding voice of Coach Achrekar. He realized the game was never about the fame or the loud applause. It was about the pure, unadulterated love for the sport of cricket. He began breaking records that the world thought were impossible to touch. He scored more runs than any other human being in the history of the game. But as the sun began to set on his career, a new feeling emerged. He wanted to leave the game while he was still giving his absolute best. The final match arrived, and the stadium became a massive sea of blue. As he walked out for the last time, the noise was absolutely deafening. He played with every ounce of strength left in his body, fighting for every run. When the final ball was bowled, the long and legendary journey finally ended. He didn't celebrate with a trophy. Instead, he knelt and touched the ground. He was thanking the earth and the game that had given him everything. He walked off in tears, knowing he had fulfilled every promise to himself. Despite the fame, he remained that same humble boy from the streets of Mumbai. He proved that discipline, courage, and humility can help anyone conquer the world. The childhood coins were the building blocks of a legacy that will live forever. Sachin showed us that greatness isn't a gift, but a choice you make every single day.